Good morning. This is Rashad Mitchell coming to you live from my YouTube channel as I continue on my part series. The week that was college football history review, the 1970 college football season for September 26, 1970. This is week 3. To continue to progress in recapping this season of 1970. We're going to start with Boston College playing Navy, where Boston College beat Navy 28-14. Boston College used runs of halfback Fred Willis for 131 yards and 3 touchdowns to take advantage of each of 3 trips into Navy territory in opening 3 quarters. Meanwhile, midshipmen had ball inside the Boston College 31-yard line and 5 times in the first half, and only 3-yard touchdown plunged by fullback Andy Peace, who had 108 yards rushed to show for it. Now, even that brief highlight was brought about by defensive end Tom O'Brien's fumble recovery at Eagle 22-yard line. Navy offense failed to capitalize on interceptions by linebacker Chuck Voigt and defensive back Brad Stephen, each of whom returned into BCN. The Middies wide receivers Tom Moore and Carl Shelm dropped long open passes in the second half, but it was soon 28-7 as Willis scored on a 7-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Frank Harris, and Harris added a touchdown run. Kansas defeated Syracuse by a score of 31-14. Mayor of Syracuse considered canceling the game as Ancient Archbold Stadium was heavily guarded because of black player protests and rumored massive on-field sit-in by students. Mostly because jumpy Kansas flubbed early plays, the spirited Syracuse was able to score games. First touchdown on tailback Roger Victoria's 13 yards screen pass from quarterback Randy Zerr. Typically unfazed, Kansas fullback John Riggins had 162 yards rushing on 26 carries and 3 touchdowns, crashed for 3 short touchdowns to supply 8-7 halftime edge, and ignite 20-point outbursts in the third quarter. Riggins centered 57-yard down the sideline to 17-yard line to set up his third touchdown. Meanwhile, the Jayhawks quarterback Dan Heck ran for 2 points after Riggins' first touchdown and capped a third quarter with 43-yard touchdown pass to wide receiver Marvin Foster, who took pass in stride and ignored own bobble for touchdown and a surmountable 28-7 edge. Next, Alabama beat Florida, the number 13 team in the country, 46-15. And in just 15th meeting between SEC schools, the Crimson Tide buried the Gators with 22-point barrage in the fourth quarter. Now, Alabama defense allowed solo 9-yard touchdown pass by highly pressured Florida quarterback John Reeves to fullback Mike Rich in the second quarter that kept Gators competitive for a while at 10-7. The Gators earned only 41 yards rushing. Quarterback Scott Hunter and Neb Hayden each threw touchdown pass in Alabama's balanced attack of 286 yards rushing and 200 yards passing. Tailback Johnny Musso, who ran for 139 yards and 21 carries, was one of 7 different Tide players to score a touchdown. Before getting nicked up, Bama quarterback Hunter hit 12, 11, and 33-yard passes on opening drive, which sub quarterback Hayden finished with touchdown sneak. Hunter hit his touchdown pass to fullback Dave Brungard in the second quarter that took Tide to 17-7 halftime edge. "We stunk," blurted irritated Florida coach Doug Dickey afterward. "He means stank," corrected sports writer, while another posed rhetorical question, "What do you want? Good grammar or good football?" "We'll be back," added Dickey. Next, Auburn Tigers beat Tennessee 36-23. Quarterback Pat Sullivan threw 17 of 31 for 268 yards, a touchdown, ran for 7 yards as Auburn beat Volunteers in sloppy 14 turnover matchup. Yet Tennessee was ranked number 17 in the country. Tigers used 2 interceptions within a minute by defensive back Larry Willingham. First went for 52-yard touchdown return, and second was third straight interception thrown by Tennessee quarterback Bobby Scott. Now, Scott's 1-yard touchdown run had built early 10-0 lead for Tennessee. After blowing that lead, Tennessee pulled within 29-23 in the fourth quarter. A touchdown run by tailback Don Cleary and touchdown pass by Scott. Mississippi State beat Vanderbilt 20-6. Louisiana State beat Rice 24-0. Number 6, Notre Dame beat Purdue by a score of 48-0. Ending 3-year Purdue Hex, the Irish hurled balanced 633 yards of offense at Boilermakers, improving. Notre Dame quarterback Joe Theismann pitched touchdown passes of 17, 7, 20 yards to end. Tom Gatewood, who caught 12 passes for 192 yards, who was maneuvered among 4 receiver spots to out-confuse double team defense. And experienced Boilers were held to 144 yards, but sophomore quarterback Gary Danielson led third quarter drive to Notre Dame 15-yard line on fourth down. Halfback Stan Brown's run was stacked up. Next, number 20 Air Force beat number 9 Missouri by a score of 37-14 in St. Louis. Now, explosive Falcons blitzed number 9 Missouri to earn first top AP poll spot since 1958. Air Force quarterback Bob Parker threw for 295 yards, touchdowns of 44 to 67 yards to wide receiver Ronnie Jennings, while running back Brian Green rushed for 3 touchdowns, winning from 30-0 first half. Tigers managed to send quarterback Mike Farmer into the end zone twice in the second half. Next, we got the Oregon State beating Oklahoma by a score of 23-14. Oklahoma was ranked number 14 as they lost Oregon State 23-14. Surprising, Oregon State overcame a 14-13 halftime disadvantage with concerted second half effort. Oklahoma got touchdowns from tailback Joe Wiley and fullback Roy Bell in second quarter. Only portion of game, Sooners were able to control. The Eagles quarterback Steve Endicott threw 3 touchdown passes to lead offense that outgained the Sooners 450 yards to 190 yards, while the defense chipped in with second half shutout. Kicker Lynn Boston kicked a go-ahead 21-yard field goal in the third quarter. Oklahoma State beat number 11 Houston 26-17. Cowboys snapped a 10-game winning streak of Houston and special teams kicker returner Dick Graham starred. Graham scored on an 85-yard kickoff return and set up clinching touchdown with 35-yard punt return. Houston's last defeat also had been to Oklahoma State in 1969. Cougars had open scoring on kicker Carlos Lopez's 43-yard field goal and got 6-yard touchdown run from halfback Tommy Moseysack. Next, Colorado, the number 18 team in the country, beat number 4 Penn State by a score of 41-13. Scoring their first touchdown only 125 into the game, stampeding Buffaloes used fullback John Tarver's 1-yard touchdown run after defensive back Pat Murphy's interception to start to unravel the 23-game winning streak of Penn State. Kicker Dave Haney kicked 2 field goals and Colorado went 71 yards to touchdown to more than compensate for Lions fullback Franco Harris' 6-yard touchdown run in the second quarter. Now, any second half comeback hope harbored by Penn State was stopped by flying feet of Buffalo's wide receiver Cliff Branch, who sped 97 yards to a touchdown with second half kickoff touchdown. That gave Colorado a 22-7 lead. Defensive punishment was delivered by Colorado defensive end Herb Orvis, linebacker Rick Ogle, and defensive back John Stearns, as Bison forced a 5 damaging turnovers by the Lions. Texas, the number 2 team in the country, beat Texas Tech by a score of 35-13 in the first half. All seemed right with mighty Texas world as fumble recovery by linebacker Scott Henderson and short punt by Red Raiders led to running touchdowns by quarterback Eddie Phillips, who had 127 yards rushing and 18 carries, and fullback Steve Worcester had 93 yards rushing and 18 carries. But Texas Tech took next kickoff and went 72 yards, including halfback Larry Hargroves' 31-yard dash to quarterback Charlie Napper's 1-yard touchdown sneak. Napper ran 43 yards later in the second quarter to set up 10-yard burst up middle for touchdown by fullback Don McCarthy. That sent teams to halftime with Longhorns leading only 14-13. Only anxiety Texas held, and remember its last loss had come on same field early in 1968 was wiped out as Horns went 72 yards after second half kickoff to halfback Jim Burleson 4-yard touchdown run. Now trailing only 21-13 early in the fourth quarter, Raiders quarterback Napper arched a long pass down left side to tight end David May, who appeared open for touchdown. But Texas safety Rick Neighbors made leaping interception at 10-yard line as pass hung up just long enough. Now Texas added touchdowns by halfbacks Billy Dale, who had 114 yards rushing 22 carries, and Burleson and Steers on their 22nd straight victory. Now it was the longest winning streak in the nation. And last but not least, Michigan. Number 10 team in the country beat Washington 17-3. As stellar sophomore quarterback Sonny Six Killer passed 13 of 21 for 117 yards in the first half, but all Washington had to show for it was kicker Steve Wiesbowski 35-yard field goal midway through the first quarter. In the second half, Michigan pressured Six Killer relentlessly, throwing him for sizable losses. So after Wolverines kicker Dana Coyne tied it in the middle of third quarter with 39-yard field goal, the Michigan defense halted Six Killer consecutive sneaks at midfield. Michigan took over at Huskies' 49-yard line after big fourth down stop, and halfback Preston Henry sped 8-yard touchdown run on pitch out. The Huskies' fourth quarter penalty that returned custody to Wolverines after punt paved way for Henry 105 yards rushing to blast off right tackle and cut back for a 30-yard touchdown. So that concludes a look at the games that were played during September 26, 1970, week number 3 of the 1970 college football season, weekend review. Here we go. AP poll September 28th looked like this. Number 1, Ohio State. Number 2, Texas. 3 was Stanford. 4, Notre Dame. Number 5, Southern California. 6 was Nebraska. 7, Mississippi. 8, Colorado. 9, Michigan. 10, Air Force. 11, Arkansas. 12, Auburn. 13, UCLA. 14, West Virginia. 15, Georgia Tech. 16, Penn State. 17, Alabama. 18, Arizona State. 19 was North Carolina. And number 20 was Missouri. So that concludes a look at the week that was college football review, the 1970 college football season. The games that recap that was played during week 3, September 26, 1970. Do a video of this magnitude tomorrow as we go into the month of October. I'll be talking about the games that were played on October 3rd, 1970 for week 4 of the 1970 college football season. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Do a video of this magnitude tomorrow. Until then, talk to you soon.